March 23rd will now come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Council, just to say, moving on to county communications for tonight. The governor in Executive Order 20-15 provided that elected bodies can have members participating telephonically for meetings rather than being present during this period of the coronavirus. That means that as long as they're on a phone line, you can hear them and they can hear you, those being present here, then that's acceptable for a meeting and they would count as the quorum. And of course, those who are telephonically participating get to vote on all resolutions also. Thank you.
Thank you.
And at this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Barden.
Here.
So noted. Councilman Barden.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth is absent. Councilwoman Webb.
Here.
And Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Before we move on with this agenda, Councilman Barton? Councilman Barton,
Yes.
it is my understanding that you would like to relinquish the chair to Councilwoman Talley. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. That
So-
is correct.
So noted. Councilwoman Talley, you are the chair of this meeting.
Okay,
this council
thank you.
meeting. The regular council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. Number 4, chairperson's report. Number 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11 is warrant. Number 12 is communication, and number 13 is adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So move to accept agenda.
Get a support. Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, to approve the agenda as follows. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Ms. Abdo, do you approve the agenda?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Barton, do you approve the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, chair votes yes, motion approved.
Agenda item number 2, the minutes. For approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held on March 9th, 2020.
So move to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on March 9th, 2020.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Williams, to approve the minutes from the regular meeting on March 9th. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
There are no petitioners on the agenda, so number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for everyone who's out this evening in the midst of everything that's going on. And I want to thank Mr. Barton for relinquishing in his absence. I would like to read a statement on his behalf regarding the events of the day. Good evening, everyone. Over the last week and a half, our country and our community has been through so much with the coronavirus outbreak, inundating all of our news media, conversations, and thoughts. I want to personally thank and commend Mayor Burcroft on leading a proactive and detailed response to this outbreak. He and his team have worked diligently to follow federal and state guidelines. They work to anticipate this ever-changing situation and make appropriate changes while keeping both the public and us elected officials informed. I commend our city employees who have been tireless public servants during this time of need, and of course our first responders who continue to remain committed to the call of duty, protecting our safety 24/7. Thank you again to the mayor and his team. I pray for the health and protection of them all and all of our residents as the virus continues to spread. Thank you and stay safe. Mayor Pro Tem John Barton. Thank you, Mr. Barton. And I would just like to piggyback on Mr. Barton, since I get to be the chair this evening. Just continue prayers, as Mr. Barton has said. We need to pray for our world, our country, our state, our county, our city, and everybody. And a special thanks to our first responders. A special thanks to the city of Romulus for the communications that we have been receiving during the midst of this crisis. This has been difficult for me because I'm a hugger. So I'm like in culture shock right now about not having to be socially distant. So forgive me for those. But I do have to say that this thing is deeper than what we're looking at. It's deeper than washing hands. It's deeper than germophobia. This thing, it's time to get back to what's important, and that's what's happening right now in the midst of everything that's going on. God is telling us something, and he's showing us something. I pray that we take heed so that this too shall pass, and we can move on with our lives. And again, I want to thank the city of Romulus, the mayor and his team with the communications and the actions taken during this difficult time. These are uncharted waters that we have not seen before. And so we need to band together as Romulus knows how to do and has always done in difficult times and crisis, and have to have faith, not fear, and trust in the Lord. Thank you. And that concludes my report.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Ms. Abdo, do you?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Next on the agenda is the mayor's report.
Good evening, City Council, clerk, and audience, and those at home. Quote I brought tonight, I thought this was pretty fitting, from Conor McGregor. Real champions fight through adversity. You know, this is a new battle. This is a new fight, an invisible fight to some extent. So I think it ties into what we're dealing with. I do want to also echo great job by the team. Thank you to the legislative body. Thank you to our treasurer and clerk and deputy clerk and those who have been working hard with our directors and department heads to work through this battle. What I wanted to do tonight, Madam Chairman, is to have a report. I know we're getting documentation here, but a brief overview by a couple people, and some had requested by council from fire, police, and from the court. So first I'd like to have Director Kevin Kraus come up and talk a little bit about just kind of recapping from a high level, more for the public, what we've been dealing with and a little bit of the why. Good evening.
Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor, madam clerk, and councilman Barton and councilwoman Abdo that are telephoning in with us this evening. I'd be redundant in saying again that we are in unprecedented times in the world today. And I would like to say that Romulus is prepared. No individual country, state, county, or city can prepare for emergencies that are unforeseen that come our way at the drop of a hat or blink of an eye. But we train regularly, our first responders, our city personnel, and our team trains regularly, and we do prepare. And that preparedness training allows us to modify our emergency action plans to adapt to any scenario that we're faced with. And that's exactly what we've done over the last couple weeks. We've been tracking this at a very high level for some time, and we have been slowly starting to implement changes. What I want to do for all of you and also for the viewing public is to just go over a brief timeline of exactly what's occurred over the last couple weeks. A lot of these decisions and things that we've implemented occur very rapidly sometimes, and sometimes it's a matter of a process and a decision process that has to occur. So we've tried to put them in a chronological order for you to understand exactly how all of this is unraveled and the changes that have taken place. I'm going to go over that citywide. I'm going to talk about a little bit of some of the things we've had to do and declare on behalf of the mayor, and then also discuss a change in operations at the fire department. And then I'll have Chief Fanis come up and discuss the change of operations at the police department as well, okay? So I'd like to start with the week of March 9th through the 13th. We began assessing risk and changes in operations based on growing concerns for the pandemic that we face today, which is the COVID-19 virus. On Thursday, March 12th, we made the decision to stop all water customer shutoffs scheduled for Monday, March 16th because of the sanitization procedures that we have put in place and education of the public for stopping the spread of this disease. Also, we restored water to multiple customers that have been previously shut off to make sure that they had water for sanitation purposes. On Friday, March 13th, the decision was made to cancel the St. Patrick's Day luncheon at the Senior Center, and that was scheduled for Tuesday, March 17th, and the Romulus Athletic Center canceled their groups of classes or any group classes. Saturday, March 14th, the library had declared closure to the public starting March 16th through April 5th, and the notice was sent to the public on Monday, March 16th, making that announcement to the public. Saturday, March 14th, concerns were received from Wayne County regarding possible exposures to the COVID-19 at Detroit Metro Airport and local Romulus hotels. This concern was shared with our local elected officials, yourselves, at 4:30 p.m. via email, and Mayor Burcroft also made personal contact on this issue with elected officials at the county and the state level, as well as the 34th District Court. Sunday, March 15th, the mayor participated in a conference call organized by Governor Whitmer regarding the state response to the COVID-19 virus and the upcoming executive order closing all bars, restaurants, and fitness centers. And on Monday, March 16th, on Tuesday, March 17th, the mayor held multiple meetings with directors preparing and planning for implementation of an emergency declaration and implementing the National Incident Management System, and working with the command staff, the 9 command staff individuals, establishing a unified structure of command and assigning myself and Chief Fanis as the unified incident commanders of this NIMS disaster declaration. For the general public and for council, if you don't know what NIMS is, it's our National Incident Management System. And this system puts together a team that plans daily, communicates daily, and decides what's going to happen during the next operational period or 24-hour period when it comes to city function and what needs to be accomplished to continue to operate and to continue to mitigate the disaster or incident at hand. And that's what we did, and it's very important on a number of different levels that we have this in place. Primarily being, there is going to be significant financial impact to the city of Romulus because of this, this entire scenario and this entire disaster. Implementing the NIMS system immediately allows us to start tracking every manpower hour that is going towards mitigating this disaster. And at some point in the future, they have not said exactly what will be reimbursable, but at some point in the future, we'll be able to submit all of that paperwork to the federal government in hopes of recouping all of the manpower and dollars that were exercised during mitigating this disaster and keeping our community safe. So that's one of the key things that is imperative of implementing the system. Monday, March 16th, officially, Mayor Burcroft declared a state of emergency within the city of Romulus in an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus 2019, also known as COVID-19. Also declared that city municipal buildings would be closed to the public beginning Tuesday, March 17th, beginning at 12 p.m. or noon. The city's unique location with multiple forms of transportation and our transient population in our hotels was one of the main concerns for this declaration. Access to additional funding and resources to respond to the increased risk to the virus and to our citizens. Our elected officials were copied on the press release that was sent announcing to the public late afternoon on Monday. And following the declaration, all public outreach and communications was limited to only essential and pertaining to the actual incident, including education and awareness about the virus and its symptoms, community resources for the public, and a page was added to the city website for incident response information and frequently asked questions. That website is www.romulusgov.com/coronavirus. On Monday, March 16th, the Romulus Athletic Center declared closure to the public beginning at 3 p.m. in response to Governor Whitmer's executive order. And on Tuesday, March 17th, the mayor recorded a video message to the public regarding declaration of emergency and the COVID-19 response information. This message is posted on the city's Facebook page, the cable stations, and also on YouTube. Also on Tuesday, March 17th, discussions began about essential versus non-essential staffing, at-risk employees, and possible changes to work schedules, duties, and accommodations to start to accommodate the social distancing measures that are in place now nationally. Discussions beginning regarding March 23rd City Council meeting and how to accommodate the public this evening as well started on the 17th. And on Wednesday, March 18th, citywide email newsletter sent, including the mayor's video message and other COVID-19 response information and links to multiple resources. On Wednesday, March 18th, Human Resources began distributing letters to at-risk employees for schedule changes. Thursday, March 19th, our first meeting of the incident command staff at the Emergency Operations Center, which was limitedly activated, and meetings continue on a daily basis until decided otherwise for communication purposes. Thursday, March 19th, the mayor sent a letter to the Ministerial Alliance encouraging electronic services at all congregations. And on Friday, March 20th, multiple HR policies were sent out to employees regarding notification of possible employee exposures, changes in dress code, and notification of employee travel in case somebody's traveling out of state or out of country. Friday, March 20th, the hold message for the city telephone lines were updated with the new service model of essential changes and updates. I want to make sure that everyone knows that on a almost daily basis, we are in contact with Wayne County Department of Health, Wayne County Emergency Management, and the State Department of Health in getting updates on exactly what's happening day to day. The health and safety of our residents and visitors is our primary focus. Our collective public health depends on the actions of each individual. I ask that we do all we can and do our part to prevent the spread of this virus, and we continue to be committed to provide exemplary service to our residents during this time of uncertainty. We must all support each other and find solutions to work together. From a city perspective, that is all the actions that we've taken to this extent. From a public safety perspective, we've done many other things that mirror what we've done from other city buildings. From the fire department, administratively, early on, we canceled all PR events and public education classes that the fire department normally goes out and does within the public. We also closed our station to any public tours. We didn't want to have exposure to our first responders and potentially lose our first responder force because of an early exposure. We worked on educating the staff on how to protect themselves through personal protective equipment gear, and then also how to protect the citizens as we go out and make sure that no other exposures occur. It's important to know, and it's important for the public to know, that our fire department is responding to each and every request for service as we have in the past and will continue to do in the future. There may be some changes in how they interact with our citizens that we didn't do before. Some of those changes that the citizens can expect is that maybe instead of 2 or 3 firefighters Entering the resident at the beginning of a call or when we arrive, you may just have one firefighter go in at first. They more than likely will have a face mask on or a face shield along with gloves, or potentially like a mask or a shield covering their face. They'll evaluate the situation, evaluate the patient briefly, and then make a determination as to the level of potential exposure to the COVID-19 virus, and then accommodate the patient and the needs of the patient and treat the patient appropriately and transport the patient if needed. We will continue to, like I said, respond to all calls, but the important thing is to know there may be some changes in how we do business every single day at this point. Some other concerns that have been brought up that typically don't fall under the fire department's umbrella, but we are working to help find solutions with, is through our senior citizens, our veterans, our disabled residents. Those residents, if there are issues or concerns that they are unable to resolve themselves, we ask that through the mayor's office, the number to the mayor's office, they make that contact. We will put them in contact with the appropriate resources through the senior center. Most of these requests are coming in through the seniors right now. We'll put them in appropriate contact with the senior center, and then the fire department will assist in any way possible to find a resolution to whatever issues they're having. Other than that, we just ask that things are changing on a daily basis. We know that the governor's order today completely changed the game for everybody, and we're currently working on what that solve is going to be, and you will be updated when those plans are put into place as well. With that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Chief Honest from the police department to let him give you an update as far as the police department operations are concerned, and then we'll answer any questions you might have.
Thank Director Kraus for walking through that timeline and how we got where we are today. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
We started with the premise that the people of Romulus expect and deserve that the Romulus police officers will continue to protect and serve during this health challenge, and we will. You'll see us in your neighborhoods and on the streets patrolling, and we'll continue to respond to emergencies to protect the public. Now, you may notice that we stand a little further away as we talk to you, as we are practicing social distancing also. With that in mind, and the governor's emergency order, we're limiting non-emergency contacts, and we'll be taking non-emergency reports over the phone or online where possible. You can now file police reports online through the police public safety link at romulusgov.com or call 734-941-8400 to file a police report over the phone. As with any emergency, still call 911, and we'll respond. Animal control will continue to respond to dangerous animal situations. Shelter drop-offs, donations, or retrievals will be done by appointment, all in an effort to limit or maintain social distancing. The records window is closed, but requests can be made via email or fax, and gun permits can still be dropped off inside our lobby. If you have any questions, remember our contact information is available online at romulusgov.com, or you can go to the Romulus Police Department's Facebook page, and you'll find all that information. The City of Romulus and the Romulus first responders will continue to be there for you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
We have Steve Hitchcock that'd like to make a couple comments about the 34th District Court. As you all know, we're the host community, so they sent some communication. Be good for the public to know and us to know what their operation is going to look like. Steve?
Thank you, Mayor. Just as a little bit of background, since the governor issued the declaration of state of emergency, she's issued 17 additional orders since then, clarifying and further going forward with restricting movement of people in the state, including one today that was already mentioned. And as a result of all of those, the Supreme Court for the state, which supervises all of our circuit courts and our district courts and the lower court of appeals, issued an order to all the courts, including the 34th District Court, that essentially is stopping all operations of the court with the exception of people who are in custody. If they're in a jail and they need to be dealt with as to whether or not they would be entitled to be bonded out pending their trial, then they're still dealing with those issues, so that those individuals won't have to unnecessarily stay in jail. But other than that, there is, the tickets that are being issued are not being processed by the courts. They're just gonna be sitting and waiting. There is no civil cases can be filed. No evictions are being done for any people who are tenants. So it's come to a complete operation halt, again, for the protection of the court employees as well as the public who would have to come to all of those events in the court if it were open, so. And that's really till further notice, till there's a difference in the orders of the governor as to what can take place. And so all of those people that are involved in those cases have all been told that their cases are all adjourned without date at this point in time, and they will receive a new notice when that's rescheduled.
I guess any questions for police, fire, or court, and then I'll move on with some more comments and action items, but from council or anyone. We want to give you an update, more for the public. I know you got a complete breakdown and list of those, but I guess one thing to emphasize is that, you know, it takes a community, and what I ask of council and our electeds and our public and our first responders is, I love Romulus because we're great at rallying behind a cause. This is a tough one. We need everybody's help. I ask you please, you know, put aside whatever differences we have and rally around our residents and our community. It's going to be tough. This is a tough battle, but we're up for it. So if we're missing something in the reports or there's communication you're not getting or you feel we need to do better with the public or internally, just let us know, and we'll make sure we get that to you. There is one thing I would like to bring up because everybody heard the governor's some of the action that came out today, and if you hadn't, what I'd like to ask council to consider is our next regular meeting would be April the 6th. There's a study session that would typically be with the court for the budget. I would like us to suspend that for now because that would conflict with the governor's order. I have been in contact with the chief judge at 34th District. It would probably give them a breather to get ready for their budget, honestly. What I'd like to do is then go into the next meeting that would normally be our meeting and have them come in and talk about budget then. So what I'm asking is that the action would be to suspend our April 6th study session with council and the regular council meeting, please.
Through the chair, if I may. I'd like to make that motion to suspend the April 6th meeting, social study session with council, as well as the regular council meeting. Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Gibbons, to suspend the April 6th study session and special meeting. I guess any discussion? Guess there's nothing to discuss. Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Abda, Mr. Barton.
Yes.
Did you say yes?
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Abdo.
Ms. Abdo? Councilwoman Abdo, how do you vote?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you for that. One other thing that I wanted to mention, I get a lot of questions on, is the waste pickup by Waste Management. That's going to continue, and actually in April, they're going to start doing the yard waste. So maybe if people are tired of being locked in their homes and want to do some work around the home, they will be doing that, picking that up again. So that service will continue. We're going to do another updated PSA here this week to update the public on all the services, and you'll get a briefing on that as well. I do have some action items that are pretty important that I'd like to get into if we could, and that would be the first item under my report. What this is, and as Director Kraus said, and we talked about the emergency status that we were put in, what we need to do, and I'm asking for your continuation of that to allow us to document and move forward and actually cover through the date that the governor I had mentioned earlier today. So the recommendation that comes before you from myself and legal counsel is to concur with the administration, authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached resolution for the city to continue its state of emergency for the city of Romulus until midnight, April 27th, 2020, unless earlier terminated or elected by subsequent resolution.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion to set in place a resolution regarding the coronavirus and the state of emergency for the city of Romulus until midnight, April 27th, 2020, unless earlier determinated.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Williams, to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached resolution for the city to continue the state of emergency for the city of Romulus until midnight, April 27, 2020, unless earlier terminated or elected by subsequent resolution. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next item for action tonight is a recommendation from Kevin Kraus, our emergency management director and legal counsel. This is to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached resolution for the city to formally recognize the Romulus Public Safety Foundation as a not-for-profit charitable foundation that exists solely to support the police and fire departments.
Through the chair, if I may. I'd like to make that motion to concur with the administration.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to concur with administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached resolution for the city to recognize the Romulus Public Safety Foundation as a not-for-profit charitable foundation that exists to support our police and fire department. Any discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes. Through the chair, Mayor, I would just like, so this is a nonprofit organization that raises money just for the police and fire?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a board, they're all volunteers, they're from local businesses, people like DTE, like Marathon, others that are helping us raise money that can offset costs for equipment, supplies, things that we could use specific for public safety. And I can't thank them enough. Steve also donates his time to sit on that board, so this is one of the steps that the government asked us to do, have this board formally recognize them, and we're planning 2 different fundraisers this year, hopefully.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next item is a recommendation from Roberto Scapitici, our DPW director, and Gary Harris, purchasing director, and our city engineers. This request is to concur with the administration and award bid ITB 19/20-16 to the most responsive and responsible bidder, and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a contract for replacement of 650 feet of 8-inch water main on Metro Place with Blue Ribbon Contracting. The amount is $204,030, along with a 10% contingency, which is typical to cover any unforeseen construction. These funds have been verified and budgeted and are going to be coming out of the water and sewer construction progress account.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion with a question real quick. Is it Metro Place or Merriman Place?
I'm
Mayor?
sorry, Merriman
Okay.
Place.
I
Did
just
I say
wanted-
Metro?
Yes,
I
I just wanted to make
apologize, stand
sure.
corrected. Merriman, thank you.
Okay, I'll make that motion for ITB 19/20-16 for the Merriman Place water main.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, to concur with administration and award bid ITB 19/20-16 to the most responsive and responsible bidder, and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a contract for the replacement of the 600 feet of 8-inch water main on Merriman Place with the Blue Ribbon Contracting in the amount of $204,030, along with a 10% contingency to cover any unforeseen construction issues that may arise. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next item is a recommendation from Kathy Hood, Assistant DPW Director, and Ellen Bragg, our City Clerk, and Gary Harris, Purchasing Director. The request is to concur with administration and award ITB bid 19/20-26 to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, Green Meadows Landscaping, Inc., for a 3-year period ending March of 2023. That's for mowing and trimming of the Romulus Memorial Cemetery and maintenance of the weeds and grass in the alley behind the downtown businesses for the city of Romulus and the city clerk and DPW.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion for ITB 19/20-26 for the 3-year contract services contract for the Romulus Memorial Cemetery and downtown alley cutting.
I need a support.
I support that.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, to concur with administration and award bid ITB 19/20-26 to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, Green Meadows Landscape, Inc., for a 3-year period ending March 2023 for the mowing and trimming of the Romulus Memorial Cemetery and the maintenance of the weeds and grass in the alley located behind the downtown businesses for the city of Romulus, city clerk, and DPW. Any discussion?
I have one comment. It's just that our cemetery looks very, very nice. It's, well mowed, trimmed, landscaped, and it is really, really nice. And I take my hat off to the cemetery board as well as our city clerk.
Thank you.
Yes, through the chair, I would just like to ask the mayor, this is a 3-year contract. So
Correct.
we didn't have any local landscaping companies to bid on this job?
I'll have Roberto come up and speak to that. Roberto?
Good evening, council. We had no local vendors that submitted bids on this project, and it was advertised in the Minton. And also, there's a preferred vendors list that we've used in the past, even with our local contractor. He didn't bid on the project.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next item is just a budget amendment, but what you have before you is a request to concur with administration and introduce budget amendment 19/20-17. That's to cover the cost of the city code required repairs and rehab for the firehouse at 35-255 Goddard.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion for introduction of budget amendment 19/20-17.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Williams, to concur with administration and introduce budget amendment 19/20-17 to cover costs of city code required repairs rehab of firehouse 35 at 35255 Goddard. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. One last note, just to put out, I know one of the governor's directives were on restaurants and bars and trying to limit the social contact, but we do have a lot of Romulus restaurants that are doing carryout and delivery. So you will notice if you go to our website and click on it, there is a list of those. We'll try to keep it up to date. Hopefully, we can continue to support our locals in a different way. If they're listed and they're still available, and especially if you love their food, like a lot of them that we do and we have, let's try to support them in a different fashion if we could. And again, I just want to say thank you to council, thank you to the electeds, thank you to all our employees that are working very hard. These are tough times, but let's stick together, please, and help us get through it. And that concludes my report, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. I have 2 action items, but before I ask you to take action on those, I have just a few announcements from the clerk's office. With regards, number 8 is public comment. And even though this is a public meeting, but we did provide an email for those that are watching that didn't come out tonight, that if you do have comments that you would like to make or a question, you can do so at this time, and it will be read during public comment. The email address is publiccomment@romulusgov.com. Again, that's publiccomment@romulusgov.com. So if you want to go ahead and submit comments, if you have them at this time, and again, it will be read during the public comment section of the agenda. Also, with regards to the clerk's office, for those that may have cemetery burial needs, FOIA requests, voter registration and election information, that you can find all of that information on our city website. We encourage everyone to send us an email. That email address is clerk@romulusgov.com. Again, for any cemetery burial needs, FOIA requests, and also for your voter registration and election information inquiries. Again, submit an email to clerk@romulusgov.com. You can also call us. We will be answering our emails, checking our emails, but it may take a little bit of time before we can call you back. That direct number is 734-942-7540. Again, that number is 734-942-7540. And again, it may take a little bit of time before we can call you back, but if you send an email, then we can be, a little more expedite and getting a quicker response. And with that, the first action item under the clerk's report is item 6A, and this is for second reading and final adoption of PFG Romulus Vistar Conditional Rezoning and Development Agreement as a zoning map amendment and special land use. This request was introduced at the March 9th, 2020 council meeting.
Through the chair, if I may. I'd like to make that motion to approve second reading, final adoption of the zoning map amendment and associated conditional rezoning and development agreement for the conditionally rezoned 60 acres of property.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for the second reading, final adoption of the PFG Romulus Vistar Conditional Rezoning and Development Agreement, Zoning Map Amendment, and Special Land Use, introduced at the council meeting on 3/9/20. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And the last action item under the clerk's report, 6B. This is a motion to amend the Romulus Cemetery Rules and Regulations. The Cemetery Board and Chairperson Jan Lemon respectfully request that council adopt a resolution to amend the cemetery rules and regulations to add the following amendments under the cemetery rules regarding grave markers. They're adding item 6E, monuments, and this is for the purpose of these rules and regulations. The word monument shall mean a memorial consisting of granite or marble bearing the name or names of a family or families, consisting of a base or foundation and the upper portion or main section known as a die. And also to add or include to the rules and regulations, Cemetery Board of Trustees. All rules and regulations will be made by the Cemetery Board of Trustees in accordance with Michigan State Law MCLA 95.1 and the City of Romulus Charter. The majority of the vote by the board will be the final decision.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion to amend the Romulus Cemetery rules and regulations as read by the clerk.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, to amend the Romulus Cemetery rules and regulation as stated. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And before I close out my report, also the cemetery board chair, Ms. Lemon, wanted me to, we gave you a diagram of their future project. That's with landscape for the Veterans Memorial. There'll be some brick pavers. It's not, shown there on the diagram that you have. And she wanted me to make sure that we acknowledge Maria Lambert. She's the one that put that diagram together. So thank you, Maria, for always being there. But, so that's their, for the cemetery board, that's their newest project.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the clerk's report. Number 7 is the treasurer's report, and the treasurer provided her quarterly report, which ended December 31st, 2019, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but she wanted you to have that report. No action is required.
Okay, thank you.
Number 8 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda that's set aside for those that are in the audience who would like to address City Council. If you are in the audience and would like to address City Council, you can find the rules on the back of the agenda. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time would be upon the consent of the chairperson. Madam Chair, we do not have anyone, we haven't received any written request, and I have not received any emails from anyone from the public requesting that, any comments, but I know that we do have,
Yeah.
okay. Madam Chair, also, under public comment, Councilwoman Williams, she does have a written
Okay.
comment, communication that she would like to read.
Okay, sounds good, because it looks like we got the city employees out here in the audience, is that right? So we're going to defer to you, Ms. Williams.
Yes, I received an email from a resident, Tony Heimberg, this evening, and he wanted me to read this and bring this to the mayor's attention so that it can be addressed. It says, I said to him, so I'm speaking of Tony Heimberg, it sounds like our city planner is not following the landscaping rules. I would like to know why the city planner is not following this rule that has been in place for a very long time. The city planner must make sure that this rule is followed and then followed up. He sent me this picture, and I'll pass this to you, Mayor, of an address at 37301, where he said the trees, most of them has been removed, and then there's several of them that appear to be dead. He's saying that every business within the city should have been through the planning commission and should have been made to sign the landscaping contract. Our city should be making sure that all businesses have signed or should have signed or have signs up to date and current on their landscaping plan. Any landscaping that has died should be replaced. So each contractor that comes and build a business in our city should sign the contract, which is done on the planning commission level and the direction of the city planner. I would hope that the council, and this is on another issue he has, I would hope that the council would have been more worried about truck traffic, but that is hindsight. We currently have in place a landscape and maintenance plan enacted by our city council either in the late 90s or the early 2000, I'm sorry. That's it.
I can check into it and report back. That's not a problem.
Okay. Any other comments during this time? Not, we'll close that out.
Madam Chairman, I just wanted to make sure on a new business, I thank OHM helped us with the technology tonight for the call-in, along with our IT, and Ellen did a great job. So with their help, we were able to have people teleconference in. So I just want to give a shout out to all those. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no more new business, number 11 is the warrant, and 11A for approval is warrant 20-6.
Madam Chair, I'm going to make a motion to accept warrant 20-6 as follows. The following amounts. General fund is $57,629.13. Major street fund is $6,527.46. Local street fund, $8,251.85. Public safety fund, $24,778.19. Cable TV, $3,866.95. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $1,097.27. Street Lighting Fund, $47,106.55. Oakwood SAD, $100.24. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $87,894.48. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $5,833.33. Narco Forfeiture State Fund, $1,397.14. Library Fund, $10,569.29. DDA, $22,793.36. Tifa District Number 2, $222,837.64. CIP Bonds Court Building, $348,237.50. E-Course and Vining Capital Improvement Bonds, $222,112.50. 2014 Capital Improvement Bonds, $174.60. Vining Road Extension E-Course Construction, $51,630.98. Water and Sewer Fund, $767,537.13. Motor Vehicle Fund, $24,360.43. Technology Services, $11,485.11. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $223,780.56. Revolving Fund, $18,382.63. Current Tax, $96.39. Delinquent Personal Property Fund, $1,608.45. Payroll Fund, $229,321.14, for a total of all funds, $2,399,470.30.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, for the approval of warrant number 20-6 in the amount of $2,399,470.30. Any discussion? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Item 11B for approval is warrant 20-6E.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion for approval of warrant number 20-6E, and this is for the checks presented in the amount of $15,738.95, and this was for the workers who worked the election on March 10th, 2020.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Williams, for the approval of warrant number 20-6E for checks presented in the amount of $15,738.95 for election workers on 3/10/2020. Any discussion? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 12 is communication.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Ms.
I would just like to extend my gratitude to our DPW workers, our fire department, police department, all administration here at City Hall for everything they're doing to try to put the residents first, making everything safe. You know, none of us are perfect. This is all new for us, as everybody has mentioned. And the main thing is to keep abreast of what's happening. It's changing every day, almost every hour sometimes. And, you know, keep your eye to the news and to our website, on the Romulus City website. And just, you know, check on your neighbors by phone or whatever. And, you know, just stay safe out there and take this serious. And, you know, we'll all get through this together. That's all I can say is be safe out there.
Awesome.
And through the chair, if I may,
Ms. Webb?
I would like to echo the same sentiments as my colleague. And thank you so much, Stephen. I know you have worked hard with the technology. But what is so great is when our chief informed us of the emergency preparedness program. I have been involved in that for quite a few years. And it's very important that we know what is going on. And this is not only a disaster on our health, but we are here for the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens. And when the governor stepped out and gave us a directive, thank you, Mayor, for taking the reins on that, because you are the mayor of this city. Not any other city, no other border lines, except we are here for our residents, the city of Romulus residents. And those are things that we have to keep in mind. Each mayor of every city, every village, and every township has a lot of burden on their backs at this moment. So you are leading the helm of this city, and we are all here to support what you are doing, because your directive, as I say, is coming from the governor. And if we don't take care of our own, no one else is going to take care of us. So I take my hats off, all these hats that I wear, I take them all off to our police, our firemen, our first responders, which also includes our department heads, our elected officials, our clerk, our treasurer, and for the department heads to come in and be a part of every single meeting that has been going on these past few weeks. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better organized city right now. This is the city that I would want to be in since the COVID-19 is here. Not out of state, not out of city, but right here in the city of Romulus, because I put my trust in our first responders and in our elected officials and our employees.
All right, any other
Madam Chair.
thoughts?
Madam Chair, I just want to kind of give some acknowledgements. One, just to repeat what the mayor had said with regards to OHM. Jessica Caters, thank you so much, and to Bill Crandall, didn't know what to do, got on the phone and called and asked for help, and they were right there giving us assistance with this technology. So thank you again to OHM and Jessica and the team there. Also, I'd like to thank City Council for approving the warrant to pay our election workers. We just came out of the election, and it would totally be remiss of me if I just did not acknowledge all of the election workers that worked. We had a lot of training because of a lot of changes to election law. So we had a lot of training, but they hung in there with me. So thank you if you're watching. Also to Mayor Burcroft, the Chief of Staff, and the entire administration for your support. Thank you so much for having my back. To Technology Services, Steve, thank you. So thank you so much, because now elections, it involves a lot of technology now. So thank you to the Department of Public Works, Roberto, thank you for your team, and to Romulus Police Department, Romulus Community Schools. We worked collaboratively, and then last but not least, my staff and my team. So it was a lot of work, but we made it through. So I'd just like to say thank you to everyone, and as we look forward and preparing for August. So again, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
Yes, and I would also like to say thanks to our mayor for the conversation that we had. It was very thorough. But I would also like to say, as we were elected, we have to remember as council members, yes, the mayor is the executive branch, but the council is the legislative branch. And we have a responsibility also, not to put it all on the mayor, but always reach a hand out and ask if it's anything that we can do. Make sure he get the information, the complaints to the residents, because it's a lot of residents that doesn't have emails or don't have internet or don't have Facebook. So if I have a letter right here that was mailed to me, and I'm gonna make sure the mayor get a copy. When residents are not connected to the different avenues that the city have out there, it is just as much our responsibility to make sure it gets into the right hands, that those issues can be resolved. So we also, as elected officials, voted in to do the business of the city, help to do the business of the city. Remember that we have a big responsibility also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, would you like me to see if Councilman Barton or after?
Yes, would you please?
Okay, Councilman Barton, do you have communication, comments under communication?
Yes, I do. I would like to say, first of all, I miss you guys, and I love you, and take this thing seriously, but have your life planned out that you can enjoy yourself also. We will get over this. And just remember one thing. Look out for your elders. Look out for your elders. And keep your hand washed. Wash your hands. Thank you. I love you guys. I miss you very much.
Councilwoman Abdo, do you have comments? Councilwoman Abdo.
Okay.
No, I have no comment at this time.
Thank you.
And just in closing, we've had a lot of discussion about the COVID-19, the coronavirus, all of it. But, there are some things we do need to keep in mind, that we do have a census out there. And we don't want to get distracted, because we do have business where we have to take care of with this census. So you should have gotten your forms. It's important. It's the law. It's our civic responsibility. And we have numbers here to help. If you need help with your form, it's 330-2020. Please call if you need help with this, but this helps our community, our county. It just helps us with funding, so please, please, and please fill out your census form. It's very important for us as a city, a county, a state, and all. It's very important, so please fill it out. And if you have any questions, I'm sure you can call the city hall, or just call if you need help with the census. Just call and reach out. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
If there's no more communication, number 13 is adjournment.
So move to adjourn.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, to adjourn the meeting. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Abdo? Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned.